and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Today we are taking a look at a pretty interesting and pretty gory film at that, in a violent nature. This film would definitely qualify as a good old-fashioned slasher, as it follows a group of teens out in the woods in Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, by the way, anytime you get a group of teens out in the woods, that's a pretty good recipe for a horror film now, isn't it? So here's the story of the movie, and I did think it was pretty darn weak, the story that is. But basically, one of the little teeny boppers takes a gold locket that is hanging on an old fire tower, thus awakening Johnny, whom is some kind of hulking undead corpse, who follows the teens through the woods and finds all kinds of tasty little ways to dispatch them in revenge for his wrongful death over 60 years ago. This film was neat, not necessarily for the context of the story, because in my opinion, the plot of a monster being resurrected, to go on a killing rampage, this has been done and redone 1.5 million times, and as I said before, I did think the story was pretty weakly done. The film is worth a watch, though, because it is all done from the monster's point of view. That is where they get you, from the monster's point of view. It really kind of reminded me of a video game in a lot of ways. You know, when you play a game and you're just kind of walking to your next mission, much of the film was him just skulking around, or him watching the teeny boppers around the campfire, or in their cabins, or whatever, with the camera angle behind the monster, the creature, whatever you want to call him. I thought it was pretty cool and something a little different for sure. I did love the way they flipped the script, and we actually get to see it from the baddie's point of view. Finally, team bad guy right here, always team bad guy right here. I don't know about you guys out there in YouTube land, but all I could think of when I was watching this film was how much it reminded me of, guess what? You guessed it, the Friday the 13th movies with Jason Voorhees. I mean, even the story of a wrongful death of a child that comes back from the grave for his revenge was the same. The setting was even very familiar to the setting of the infamous Camp Crystal Lake in Friday the 13th films. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but it's my show, and I'm an undead vampire, and I do whatever I want. But it made me want to play the Friday the 13th video game and review it. I know I'm way late to the party on that, but has anyone ever played that game? It looks pretty sweet, but we'll see. Okay, back to In a Violent Nature. Back to the film. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there with all the Friday the 13th similarities to the hulking brutes Johnny and Jason Voorhees. I did like the old antique firefighter mask, though. It did add a little something to the scare factor, even though we mainly just saw the back of Johnny's rotted head through much of the film. Though I felt that the acting of the film was somewhat ho-hum, as they say, I did think that the kill scenes were very, very creative. And really just kind of happened out of nowhere, you know. Like all of a sudden, someone is walking around do-do-do-do-do, or peacefully around in the woods, and then Johnny is like splitting you in half and shoving your head through your stomach or something. I can't even begin to explain some of those kill scenes. So, saying all that, I think if someone were to ask me, "Hey CD, you wretched undead thing, should I watch this film?" I would respond with, well, it depends on what you are after. If you're into some awesome and gory death scenes and seeing a movie through the eyes of the monster, if that gets your jollies off, then you should definitely give it a watch. Now, if you're looking for a great story and great acting, I would say you're probably in the wrong place, my dears. All in all, I would definitely give it a watch if I were you. It's worth it. I thought it was pretty darn entertaining, if you ask me. I'm going to put this one right in the middle of the Oscarometer, because I felt like it could have gone either way, depending on what you're into. They are supposedly making a sequel to this film, by the way, for those who are interested. I would like to thank you for joining me here on the CD Racoola Show. And if you could please hit that subscribe button with all the violence you can muster. I would tip my little hat to you. Please feel free to join me next episode on the CD Racoola Show as I go all the way back to 1941 and review the black and white film The Wolfman. Oh, that should be fun. Till next time, if you're ever in the woods and you suspect there may be a killer or malevolent monster hunting you, it's probably not a good idea to split up from your friends, from your little buddies. I mean, duh, I had to say that. You guys don't know. Alright, whatever. Bye-bye, you little monsters out there.